Hi, my name is Karen. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy 2020. We are still on the series, The Defining Decade. And with me here is a personal finance expert. He will introduce himself. Sir.
Happy New Year to all of you. Great time, great season. 2020, good time with the 20s. I am Wahome Ngari. I'm the CEO at the Personal Finance Academy. Excited to be with you here this new year.
Yay! And so, Mr. Wahome, could you just give us a bit, like, your background with finance? Like, why did you choose to go into that line where you tell people how to manage their finances, how to create wealth off of it? How did it start?
Well, like everybody listening to me, I love money. I am yet to find somebody who doesn't love money.
I am also yet to find.
But I came into this business out of things I did in school, out of things I've done in work, and I've been involved a lot of times dealing with people, advisory in personal finances, in the financial services.
Yeah.
And I found it necessary as part of building my business to actually get into financial literacy and help people to understand money even much better.
Even much better.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So the sake why we have Wahome here is because he runs, like he said, he runs a personal finance academy, and it is important to have your finances in check as you are planning for the decade. Most of the people who would be listening and watching, I'm sure they're in between their 20s, preparing for their 30s, or mid-20s, also looking into 30s. And we wanted Wahome to guide us through that whole conversation while you're, like, honestly, guys, as we're planning just for the decade, because there's so much conversation around, we're in a new decade. So how about you, it's a fresh start also for your finances. But before we get into the planning for the finances, how about you tell us, you define certain terms around personal finance. So things like income. What is income?
Okay, let's work it easy.
Okay.
Life is a journey.
Yeah.
And money is involved through this journey. And this life journey has three definite phases.
Yeah.
You look at it, the first phase of life is called childhood.
Yeah.
And you know, we're young, and somebody is going to bother about the money issues for us, and we don't have to care. But somewhere in the 20s, that tends to be interrupted. And we get into the second phase, is our working life, where now you're going to look for the money, work for the money, and deal with the money. And the last phase of life is what we call the retirement.
You said work for the money?
You're going to work for the money, you're going to mind the money, you're going to take care of the money. It is you and your money. You can actually take a placard and actually go and say, me and my money and my life.
Okay.
When you come into retirement, you still have the money, but you don't have the capacity to make it because the body is actually getting a bit tired. So that's the frame we work with. When we're looking at income, income is any money that comes to you.
Okay.
And there are two streams of income. This is what we call active income. This is the money you actually work to get. You know, like people get hired and they earn a salary.
Yeah.
Now they only get paid because they do something. If you sold and you earned a commission, now that's active income. But we also got passive income. Passive income is the money that is made by your money.
Money made by your money?
Yes.
Okay.
So I actually get money, I invest it somewhere, and it actually makes money for me. That's passive income. So that's when you're talking about income, money that comes to me.
Yeah.
Whether it's an allowance I've been given, whether it is a salary, whether it is a commission, whether I'm collecting rent, or I'm actually, whatever it is.
Money coming to you is just
money
income.
coming to you is income.
And pocket money is income.
Yes, it is income. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about budgeting.
Yes.
So you've got an income.
Okay.
Budget. Does it come when the income is there? Am you budget before the income? When do you budget?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
First, let's see, what's a budget?
Yeah.
And we hear the national government is budgeting, companies budget, individuals have to budget. Now it's just making up your mind with, this is the money I have, this I'll spend, this I'll save, this I'll do this I'll do that. That's what budgeting is all about.
Okay.
Synthesizing and saying, this is what I'm going to do with the money. So you can actually budget before the money comes, or you can budget after the money comes. It is dangerous to budget when the money is there, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because money is very good, but money has some very hidden characteristics. like money is very emotional. When you get it, it excites you, and it excites you to spend it.
I agree.
Okay. So do you want to budget when you're excited or when you are rational?
When you're...
Very good. That's why we budget before it comes.
I see.
Yes.
Okay, so now you've got the budget.
Yes.
I want you to explain to us the expenses.
Okay.
What are expenses? Are there like categories? Do you list expenses? What are expenses?
What's money for?
Spending.
Good. In what?
In anything that needs spending.
Anything that needs spending.
Yeah.
And actually, if I summarize it,
yeah.
And we're going to see this as we go on, we have what we call 7 cashiers, or 7 streams where we spend our money.
Okay.
And everybody who lives has got to pay to those 7 cashiers.
Okay.
Now, cashier number 1, and I know you learned that in Sunday school, is God. And the kingdom of God. So we're going to pay our tithe, we're going to pay our offerings, we must help the poor.
Yes.
Now, cashier number 2 is the taxman.
Okay.
When we get into employment, we will meet the taxman. But even before we have gone into employment, we actually pay taxes. When you buy Cadbury, when you actually buy sweets, there is a tax component in there, so we pay taxes.
Yeah.
Now, the number 3 cashier is always called lifestyle maintenance. You will have to maintain your lifestyle. That's why we find we have to pay rent, we have to pay transport, we have to pay airtime, we have to eat, we have to keep ourselves going.
Yeah.
As we get older, and this tends to happen somewhere in the 20-something, we now get family and relations. And the relations build from when you have your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your babe, you know, and you start spending on coffee and all those things, and you can't get away from that. You must start spending on that. And then as you're doing that in your relations, you find you're part of a community. And so occasionally your friends want you to assist somebody, you have to changa here, you have to changa there, and there are all those things. Then we have another cashier we call personal development. That's why sometimes you buy a movie to watch, you buy a book to read, you might register for college, you might go to the gym, you might go to the salon, you know, all those things. And then the last cashier is always called tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yes, that's why we go into savings and investments. If you listen to people in their late 20s, they'll talk about chama, investment club, circle, shares. I'm sure that's the language even people in the 20s know. Those are 7 cashiers. Are you wondering where the money goes? To those 7 cashiers.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you're budgeting, you budget with that in mind?
Yes, you budget with that in mind. I mean, because you do not want one cashier to take the money for the other cashier.
I see.
If you actually took all the allowance you've been given and you entertained your friends and it was supposed to be transport, now how do you move?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's true.
That's why you have to balance.
I agree.
Yes.
And so I really want us to get into defining all these terms so that when we proceed with the conversation, when you just throw in words like 7 cashiers.
But I'm hoping everybody knows what a cashier is.
Yeah,
the guy who sits behind a kawido and receives your money.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's another, when you talked about a cashier called tomorrow.
Yes.
And that's where the savings is in.
Yes.
I want you to talk about what are savings.
Okay. We talked about income.
Yes.
When you get money and comes to you, you broadly have 2 options. You can spend it or keep it. When you keep it, that's what is called savings. Money you have gotten that you are not spending, you keep. That's what saving is. Okay. Now, if you want this money to grow, you must do something with it. And that something you do is you send it somewhere to go and work. When you send money somewhere to go and work for you, that's what you call investing. Yes. So I have gotten this money that I got as an allowance. I've gone out with my friends and we have enjoyed, but there's a balance that I have, and I've actually gone and bought some shares. Now, those shares will give me some dividend at some date. So you actually see that's what investment is.
That's what, because I was actually about to ask you to define investment.
Okay. I think I've defined it.
You've already said it's
money at work.
Money that works for you.
Yes, money that works.
That's an investment.
That's an investment.
And you call it a passive income.
What you get from the investment now is a passive income.
Yeah, or what you get from
the investment is the passive income. Yes.
I want you, now that we're talking about investments, I want you to define for us assets and liabilities.
Okay. Now, assets are very easy to define. Asset is what you own. Okay. What you own that you can actually dispose and get money.
Okay.
You own something.
Yeah.
And you can actually sell it and make money. An asset gives you money. Okay. A liability is what you have that doesn't belong to you, belongs to somebody else.
In this case, so if we get defined.
If you say, for example, you have bought a car. A car is your asset.
Yes.
But you have bought this car, you have used a loan from the bank. Okay, so the loan you owe the bank, that's your liability. Okay, so what liabilities is what you owe others. Okay, assets is what you own, and you can actually dispose it and make money
off
of it.
Does it mean liabilities you can't make money off of it?
You owe others. You can use liabilities to create money for yourself. I have gone to the bank.
Okay.
I have borrowed the money. I have put it in a small business, and the business is giving me money. Part of it I pay the bank loan, so I'm redeeming my liability. And sorry for using the word redeeming. I'm paying off my liability, and I'm actually making money. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now that we have all those terms defined, in terms of assets, I would want to believe sometimes they may not be like just physical assets. Are there like categories of assets in which you can, things you own and you can make money off of them and they don't have to be physical?
Yes, there are many things that you can obviously own and they don't have to be physical. When you're thinking about asset classification, you can almost put them in five different categories.
Yes.
Okay, and let's start with the one that's physical and we can all see it. Something called real estate.
Yeah.
Have you had people talk about plots?
Yeah, of course.
Oh.
This is Kenya.
You have had people talk about rental property?
Yes.
That is what we call real estate.
Real estate.
Yes, it is real.
Yes.
You can touch it, you can feel it.
It's
That's
tangible,
one category of investments.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we have another category of investments, something like a business.
Okay.
You can invest in a business. And I'm sure a business you can almost see it.
Yes.
But then we have another category that's not visible.
Yeah.
If I bought shares, can I see them? Most likely not.
Yeah.
I cannot see them.
Neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there.
Yeah.
If I am actually holding a Forex account, and I will explain what Forex is with time, and I'm actually making money of my Forex account, I have an asset that is not visible. So you got assets that are not visible, like ownership. When I own, I might be holding shares, but you cannot see them. Yes. Then you got others that are not visible. I'm a member of, say, an investment club, or I'm a member of a cooperative society. They are not visible.
Yeah.
But that organization might be owning something visible. So you can categorize them like that.
Yeah.
And broadly, when we're looking at assets, there are very easy ways of categorizing. 3 easy ways. Your assets can be in cash or cash equivalent.
Yeah.
Because when I have money, that's an asset. When I have bonga points, that's an asset. You know why? I can actually use my bonga points and go and buy stuff from the shop.
Bonga points?
Yes. Yes. So we need to see them as assets.
Guys.
Okay? So that's what we call cash or cash equivalent.
Wow.
Okay? Now the second category, we can look at what we call personal use assets. The things that are bought to make my life comfortable. Okay? You know, like I have a nice phone.
Yeah.
Can I sell it and make money out of it? Remember what we said an asset is? Can I sell my phone?
Yeah, you can.
So it is an asset. Is it not for making my life comfortable? I can call people, I can text people, I can see what's happening.
That's an asset.
A car, a house, and in fact, all the things in the house, the tables, the sofa sets, all those things, they are called personal use or lifestyle assets. And then anything else that doesn't fall in that category, which you have, now that's what we call invested assets or investments. That's the common term we use, investments.
Okay.
Yes. So that way we can define our assets.
So.
Yes.
I wanted to ask, for example, I have a skill. Can it be termed as an asset?
No.
Why?
But
I can make money off of it.
Yes. Can you sell it?
Yeah, in terms of service.
So you get hired. So you're not selling it.
No, I can be
you
contracted.
You can be contracted. So you've not sold it. You still have it.
I still have it.
Yes. So yes, in English, we can say your skill or your talent is an asset.
Yes.
Meaning then it can favor you But in financial world, we don't call it an asset because we define the asset as that which you own, you can sell, and you can't sell your skill.
But it's transferable in terms of service.
No, it's not transferable. You cannot sell it. Remember, we did not talk about transferability.
Yeah.
If you're a good speaker or a good actor, can you sell that?
No, you can't.
No, you can use it to make money.
Yes, you
but
can.
you can't sell it.
So,
remember
okay.
what we said in financial terms. If you are entering that in books, and in financial terms, it's easier to see something called a balance sheet. On this side, we put our assets. On this side, we put our abilities. Now, we cannot put in a skill there because we cannot even quantify it. If you're a good actor, how much is it worth?
Well, well,
that's why in financial terms, it doesn't fit in. It doesn't fit in, yeah. In English speak, it does. And we need to build ourselves so that we can actually be able to build our skills, we can be able to build our knowledge, because those ones become our assets for creating money.
Money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
We want to conclude part 1 on that note, but in part 2, we want to talk about, now that we've known all these terms, how do you start planning for now? How do you plan for the year? How do you project that in the decade? In part 2, we'll see you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye.
What I mean is boundaries for y'all international people who didn't know.